Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to do something that was requested by one of my followers. Her name is Christina. So Christina, if you're watching, thank you so much for the suggestion because I really thought it was a great idea. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a part of my makeup collection. This is going to be a part of my blush collection. Now because I do have a lot of blushes, because I'm a blush hoarder and I'm completely obsessed with blush, I'm going to just share with you my MAC blush collection. So hopefully this will inspire some of you guys to get some new shades in your collection and just kind of give you a brief little opinion of what I feel and what I like about these shades. So the first one I'm going to start off with is my first ever MAC palette. A lot of the blushes I own, I did depot. I depotted the mineralized ones as well in the old packaging, not the new packaging, because those ones I do not know how to depot and I don't want to ruin them. But moving on, the first shade I have is Peachy Keen. As you can see, this shade is just so messed up because I've had it for so long and I really like this shade. It's really beautiful. It's a pinky color, but it's got some peach flecks in it, and when you kind of move your cheeks around you can see the luminosity and it kind of has like that dual color effect to it, so I really do enjoy it. That was probably one of my first blushes from MAC. The next color I have is called Fleur Power or Fleur Power, and it is this shade right here, and this shade is just a matte like pinky color. It's really one of the prettiest pinks that I think are out there because it's not too like bubblegum pink and it's not too overpowering on the cheeks. It gives you a really beautiful flush of color to the skin, so I really do enjoy that color. The next color I have in here is Lovejoy. This is such a stunning color no matter what shade you are, whether you're light, medium, dark, this will look so beautiful on you. I love MAC's mineralized blushes. I think they look so beautiful on the skin. They give you that really beautiful healthy glow to your skin, and that's why I like them, because I like that luminosity. Even though you will apply a highlight in most cases, it's still nice to have that really beautiful flush of color to the cheeks. And this is just a really beautiful warm shade that adds some warmth to the cheeks with that luminosity tied in with it. The next color I have in here is Warm Soul. Warm Soul is very similar to Lovejoy, except that Lovejoy, I want to say, is a little bit more warm, whereas Warm Soul is a little bit more pinky. Like, it's very warm but very pink at the same time. If you look at the two of them together, you can see that the Warm Soul is lighter. So together, I mean, the Warm Soul looks really beautiful as well, just like the Lovejoy, except for the color is just a little bit different, but very warm as well. Looks gorgeous, and it's got a little bit more gold, I want to say, in it. So if you have those yellow undertones, I really feel like that Warm Soul will really suit your skin very well. Now the next one I have in here is called Eternal Sun. Eternal Sun is a really great contouring shade. So if you're my color, this will be a great shade for you because it's not going to be too drastic. It's not going to be too heavy. It's going to be that really gorgeous contour that looks kind of like your natural jaw structure. It's gonna have your jawbones peek out, but it's not gonna be like, man, that girl's got some major contour going on. So that's why I really like that. I had my makeup done once at MAC a couple years ago and he used this on me and I love the way it looked, and I believe that is a pro long wear shade. So I really do love that. So if you want that natural contour without looking over the top, this is definitely the shade to get. Now the next one I have is for that bam in your face contour, and it is the color Raizin. Now if you're my skin tone or darker, you know that it's very hard to find blushes, bronzers that are going to suit your skin really well, because I feel like they're geared more towards the lighter shade of individuals. And when I went to MAC, I was swatching a lot of colors because I was looking for a shade that was really gonna emphasize my cheekbones and carve out that jaw, and I really was not finding anything as drastic as I would like. And I did see Raizin, and even though it looked kind of scary in the pan, it actually looks so beautiful when you contour with it, because it will give you that really great definition for that sharp contour if you want that look. So I think this is definitely a great shade for people my skin tone are darker, who are really looking for that contour shade that is really going to stand out on the cheeks. Now on the other side, I have on here Peach Twist. Peach Twist is also an oldie of mine. It's a very warm blush, and it has really beautiful flecks of shimmer in it as well. It's got some gold shimmer in it, I want to say, tied in with the warmth. It looks really beautiful for that sun-kissed kind of flush to the cheeks, especially during the summer months. This is a really great color. The next color is Melba, and this is a completely matte shade. Now, when I first saw this, I was not thinking that it was going to do much for my skin tone, because it does look a little pale, and the reason I did purchase this was none other than the Jaclyn Hill. But when I did put it on, it actually looked really beautiful on the skin. Very natural. It's great for work or school, and when you don't want to have too much going on but you would like a little flush but warmth. It's not really going to give you like that rosy cheek. It's going to give you a warm, subtle cheek. So this is really great for people who are not into the heavy blush appliance. The next one I have is Sun Basque. Sun Basque is beautiful. I've had this for quite some time too. And why I love Sun Basque is because it gives you not really so much of a contour, but it gives you really nice warmth and bronziness to the skin. So when I have a really nice tan going on in the summer, even though I'm tan all year round, this is really a great shade. I love the way it looks. It complements my skin tone very well. And I feel like this can work for so many different shades, because it's going to add to your skin. It's going to add to your tan. It's going to look really beautiful and give you really beautiful luminosity as well from those gold flecks of shimmer. Now the next shade I have is one that is discontinued, and this is called Light Over Dark. Now this was one of my first, I think it probably was my first MAC cheek product, and I got this so long ago, and I wish they would bring it back because I loved this combination. This was really good for traveling. I used this. This was my solo dolo when I first started using makeup heavily, and I loved it because it had like a really nice blush shade at the bottom, and on the top had this really beautiful different highlight. The highlight looks really light, and it's got these like warm tones in it of like copper and orange, and it's really gorgeous, and it looks so beautiful on the skin. I wish they would recreate it. And the bottom color is I want to say it's either Lovejoy or Sun Basque. I don't know which one, but it's one of the two. So I was really happy that that was something that was year-round, and that was called Light Over Dark. I wish MAC would bring back something like this, because this was such a great idea, and it was such a great item to have in your collection. So I'm really sorry that that's currently not out. The next one I have is called Dame. Now Dame is that bubblegum pink matte. It's going to be really beautiful on the cheeks if you apply it properly. Now sometimes with these really bright pink shades, they look very scary, and they look like you're gonna look like a clown, but I promise you, if you use great blending techniques and the proper tools, it will look really beautiful. And this is one of those colors that's gonna give you a nice flush, a matte flush, but it's very nice, and it'll be kind of subtle if you don't overdo it. So I do really like this shade, and it's really beautiful. Even though it looks very chalky in the pan, it actually applies very nicely. Now the next shade I have is called Gleeful. Gleeful is a very rosy, deeper mauve pink, and this has some flecks of shimmer in it as well. And this is a mineralized blush, and it is so beautiful. It's so beautiful that I bought it twice. I mean, that's how much I like it, and I didn't even realize. But like I said, this will give you that flush to the cheeks with the luminosity, and it's so gorgeous. And this is something that I think will look great on every single skin tone because of the luminosity and the flush of color. And if you're someone who likes to dabble in like different shades of pink and you don't mind the color, like definitely go for it, because it will complement your skin so well. It's such a beautiful shade. Now going on to my next MAC blush collection, my next palette, I have in here Sweet as Cocoa. Now Sweet as Cocoa is going to be a This is going to be a bronzer, but it's a bronzer that's not matte. This is for, I like it for when I want to do a, not so much of a contour, but add warmth to the skin. This is really great shade because it adds a really nice touch of warmth with the flecks of shimmer in it. But you can contour it with it as well, but I prefer to contour with completely matte bronzers. Moving on from that, I have the color Peaches. Peaches is such a beautiful color because it's great for the spring and summer months. I mean, you don't really have to just categorize it to just that time, but it is a really nice color to wear because it's got those really beautiful like pastel shades incorporated in it, and it looks really nice on the cheeks. It adds a really great touch of color, but it's not your typical pink. It's like a peachy shade, so this looks really great on so many different skin tones. Now moving on from Peaches, I'm going to talk about Gentle. Gentle is also a mineralized skin finish as well, and this is not like the Gleeful. The Gleeful is a little bit more of a mauve pink, and I think this one is a little bit softer. So if you don't want that like deeper pink and you're scared it might be too much, definitely go for the Gentle because it will add that really beautiful flush of color to the cheeks, and it's not going to be too overbearing, and you really don't have to worry about over applying because it is so soft. And it's got really beautiful flecks of shimmer in it as well. I love the way the mineralized skin finishes look on the skin because it adds such healthy glow to the skin, and I really love the way they look. Now the next color I have is called Emergent. This was a gift from my sister-in-law. Thank you so much, Jen. And this is a really beautiful color, and you know what looks good with this? If you're my color, it really just adds some luminosity to the skin. It really doesn't add too much color, but it looks really great with Peaches. I pair them together and it looks really nice. Since Peaches is matte, it gives it a really nice like oomph to it, and it adds the luminosity, and this can, kind of be not your highlight, but your over blush shade. So that's why I really do enjoy it. The next color I have is Prism, and Prism is just a very muted, warm brown. This is something that you can use to add some warmth to the skin. You can use this for a very soft contour as well. Now the next one I have in here is called Talk of the Town. Talk of the Town is a very light shade, as you can see, but this is really great, just like Margin, to add over different shades, and that's why I really like it. It's mineralized, and if you add a little spritz of mineralized skin finish, this can also be a really gorgeous highlight because it's not like super vibrant where it's going to look starky. If you put it on your cheekbones, it's going to add really beautiful luminosity to the cheeks as a highlight as well. Now the next color, I have these two shades which are not MAC, but I have this color right here which came from one of those dimensional skin finish collections a long time ago, and it's called Flaming Chic or Chic. And this color was really nice. I got it from my cosmetic company Outlet. It's very soft. It looks very vibrant in the packaging. And when I got it, I was a little scared, but it's actually very soft. It's not very pigmented. So when you apply it on, it's not going to be overbearing. So if you have that, you probably already know, but I'm sorry that it's not available in stores if you are interested in it. The next color I have here is Immortal Flower. Now, Immortal Flower looks so pale and so stark, and you're probably like, what is that girl doing with that color? And yes, that color can get chalky very quick if you don't apply it properly. I use a light hand and I don't put too much because it will make my skin look a little chalky in those areas, but it's very neutral. So if you are lighter in tone, you will really like this color. If you're in my color, you'll really enjoy this color if you apply it properly because it gives you very, very subtle flush to the cheeks. Now the next three shades are very neutral, and as you can see, they're just very, very easy, warm shades to wear with any kind of eyeshadow lip kind of combo you're going to pair it with. The first of which is Blunt. Blunt is going to be your contour shade. I like it for contour. If you're in my shade or a little lighter, this will definitely be a great contour shade for you because it has a really nice amount of grayness to it, but not too much. So when you add it to your contour line, it's really nice, but it's not as drastic as that Raizin that I showed you previously. The next is Gingerly. Gingerly is so stunning. I love these kind of mauve shades. I realized when I was looking at my blush collection how much of these shades I really do own. I gravitate towards them because they're so easy to pair with different looks, you can't really go wrong with these shades, and that's why I like them. So Gingerly is a really good one for someone who's just getting started and really wants to have something that will go with everything. You will not go wrong with this shade, and it is matte. The next one I have is Coppertone. Now Coppertone is very similar in tone to Gingerly, but Coppertone I want to say is a little lighter in shade, and like, not that it's lighter, it's just got different characteristics of warmth to it. I want to say Gingerly is like more warm, whereas Coppertone is a little bit more cool. I don't know how to explain it so much, but they both look really stunning on the cheeks, and like Gingerly, you can pair this with so many different looks as well. Now moving on from my palettes, I'm going to talk about some of the ones I had that are depotted, that are in like from collections and stuff like that. The first of which is this color. It's called Hot Nights. This was from that shimmering summer hot, I don't remember, like heat wave summer collection. I'm really not sure of the collection, but this is just a bam in your face magenta. And this was a little scary, I must admit, because it's so easy to get carried away with these colors, because this shade is very pigmented. Like once you dip your brush in it, like you just barely have to tap it to get really good color payoff. So this color is really beautiful if you pair it with the right looks. I would suggest wearing a very simple eye with this, because it can be very overpowering and it could be the focus of the look if that's what you like. And it's really beautiful because it's like that pinky purple color, and it's a really great combination of the two, and on your skin it looks really nice, especially if you're someone who is my tone. I feel like these kinds of colors look really great with our skin, and especially if you're darker, you know, these kinds of shades are ones you could get away with. The next shade I have is from the Alluring Aquatic collection, and it's called Seduced at the Sea. And this is very neutral, very good for day to day. It's got these very finely milled flecks of shimmer, but not really that visible to the eye. And the next is called See Me, Hear Me. Now if you look at the two of them, you see how similar they are. And I remember when I did a review on these two, I was saying that you really don't need both. And if you could see the difference, like this one is a little bit more warm and this one is just a little bit more pink. So that's really the only difference. There's not much of a difference, but I do like these. These were great eyeshadows for someone who likes that subtle glow to the skin. You will enjoy those. Now the next shade I have is called Honey Jasmine. This is a really beautiful orange. It looks kind of like vibrant in the camera, but it's really not that vibrant. Applied to the cheeks, stunning. Like when I was going through my orange phase, this was one of my go-tos because it looks so beautiful, and especially in summer, like these shades are so nice on the skin and they could complement your skin so well, especially if you have a tan. Like these are such great shades to wear. So this one is completely matte, and if you pair it with one of those blushes that I showed you earlier, it could look really pretty and have that really beautiful luminosity to the skin. The next one I have is from the Hey Sailor collection that came out a couple years ago, and it's called Crew. And if you look at it, this they say is a highlight, but because it does have the pink and the orange over here and a little bit of purple, this will be kind of like a blush on the skin. As you can see when I apply it, it's more of like a blush, like a very light blush, as you can see. And when you blend it out, it does look okay, but this is definitely not something I would wear as a highlight because it's just going to be like too much on the skin. The next shade I have also from a collection is this was from last year Christmas. This is the Seem to Be Seen. And this is so beautiful because it is a really big mineralized skin finish. But I want to say it's like a cross between Gentle and Gleeful in one, because it does have two different shades of pink. And this is so beautiful on the skin. I love the way it looks. It's got that beautiful luminosity, that flush of color. Love this. This was a really great collection, probably one of my favorites ever done by MAC. So this completes my MAC blush collection. Stay tuned because I will have some more blushes I will feature on my channel from like NARS and other different brands. But if I did put them all together in this video, it would be like super gangster long and I don't want anybody to get too bored. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. And if you want to see how I got this look, I will link that down below as well. Bye guys.